Boston was this peninsula and remains a peninsula that sticks out into the Atlantic Ocean.
Rick Domino is an urban transportation expert. He teaches graduate students at Harvard. He was Boston's transportation commissioner during the planning and construction of the Big Dig.
We want to make sure that our neighborhoods are accessible.
25 years after leading a community from an elevated highway to a tunnel with open parkland overhead, Domino makes a persuasive case about big ideas.
This was a swamp and a mud-filled area, somewhat blighted. This is now Boston's Back Bay.
More than a century later, it's some of Boston's most prized real estate, along with historical locations like Quincy Market and Faneuil Hall. They're all part of a vision.
When the country was doing big things.
Yeah.
And we were willing to do big things.
Yeah.
And the Central Artery Tunnel Project, if you will, is one of those ideas of doing something big. The Hoover Dam is the idea of something big. Filling in the Back Bay was a big idea. Filling in the water's edge and doing land development, big ideas. Eliminating an elevated highway in Syracuse and putting it in urban fabric is a big idea. We should still be up for doing big ideas in this country, because that's what helps make cities great and makes places wonderful and makes places where people want to live.
Boston's Big Dig taught us two key elements. One, you have to have a concept, a plan that will improve your community in the long haul. The second is a construction plan to survive in the short term.
I'm confident that we'll replace working with the state's support the parking spaces that will be taken out as a result of the Outer Tunnel project.
As Transportation Commissioner, Domino had to keep Boston moving. Public education campaigns pushed commuters to mass transit and prepared them for construction delays. Domino wants Syracuse to understand the short-term trouble is worth the long-term regional improvement.
If something's falling down and ready to crumble, and you have a chance to rethink that strategy, don't be trying to put lipstick on something that's really ugly. Yeah. It's not going to make it. It's going to stay ugly, and it's going to continue to be a blight and a drag on your economy.
The university decided a few years ago, let's do something called the connective corridor. We'll re-landscape one of the main roads. We'll take it under the highway to try to reconnect the university with downtown, but we still have the highway as the barrier. So they're recognizing we want to do something called the connective corridor. The community's talking about that, but we still have this physical barrier. I mean, that's kind of classic irony, isn't it?
It is classic irony, and so connectivity has been a urban design principle and a kind of humanistic character and value that we've all had since the beginning and shaping of cities.
That connection led to Boston building the iconic Zakim Bridge after 24 other design attempts. For Syracuse, Domino sees opportunity, perhaps in its own tunnel or arterials feeding a boulevard through town. He says a depressed highway or a rebuild just won't cut it.
The notion of peripheral highway systems that serve as on the circumferential edge, connecting with boulevards that connect to the urban core, allowing great street systems and networks that are livable, whole streets where bikes and transit systems can find ways to connect to those urban cores and centers. That's the future direction of cities. It's not building elevated highways, structures right through the heart of them.